Bulldogs 26, the Panthers 46, a Penrith masterclass in front of a packed Bulldogs and a few Panthers fans. Crowd out there at a core stadium. And it makes you believe that anything, literally anything, is possible with this champion team. So we've got Yeo, Cleary, Edwards, Martin, To'o and Leota all looking to go into their 6th straight grand final and win 5 of them. And until Penrith won 4 straight grand finals last year, no one thought that was possible either. No one thought that possible. So they are literally doing the impossible, and now they're doing it on a weekly basis. But as far as the game is concerned, perfect. And I'm not just talking about ball control. I'm talking about every facet of the match. Every player fulfilling their role as prescribed by Ivan Cleary. And then Nathan Cleary is so masterful that you hear Greg Alexander today and Andrew Johns yesterday, a couple of guys who knew how to play halfback, talk about his play and how deliberate it is and how designed it is and how it's all done for a purpose, and you understand exactly why he is the star of our game. A try, 7 from 8, 14 runs for 101 metres, a line break assist, a try assist, 16 tackles, 17 kicks, 490 metres and a 40-20. And you know what? Those stats do not tell the story of his influence on the game. There's a couple of times where he doesn't get try contribution credits, where his pass is the crucial pass. His movement is the crucial movement. His non-pass, the dummy and double pump and then release. It's all done to perfection. The stats are amazing. They don't fully reflect how influential he is on this game. Bulldogs fans, give me your thoughts. Personally, if you'd have told Bulldogs fans that you'll finish 3rd, you'll get a home final, and you'll have the best defence in the league, you would take it every single time at the start of the year. There were changes during the year. I think you've heard about them a little. Let's have a listen to Cam Serraldo talking about his thoughts on those changes.
No, I wouldn't change a thing. This is all part of the journey. There's been some tough times this year. Our guys have had to deal with a lot more scrutiny than probably some other places, and the way they've stuck together and handled it and just kept building a really strong culture, I'm just incredibly proud.
Went on to praise a couple of players in particular, Bailey Hayward and Lachlan Galvin. And look, if you'd have watched that game yesterday and you can't see why the Dogs made those mid-season changes, if you couldn't see that, I can't help you. I can't. If you wanted me to present evidence for that 80 minutes yesterday, that's what I would have presented. And if you can't see that, and if you want to buy into other narratives, then I'll throw my hands up. Can't help. So Ivan Cleary and the Panthers, they now head up to Brisbane for a date with Michael Maguire and the Brisbane Broncos. That's a Sunday game. You'll hear it on SEN. You'll hear Friday on SEN as well. What a setup it is. And we think that Liam Martin will be right. Dr. Brian To'o spoke with the media after the game. Here he is.
Liam Martin got taken off. We don't know whether it was a shoulder or a rib. Have you got any sort of inside knowledge of what's happened to him?
Gout. He's got gout. I'm pretty sure he's got gout.
Is he having as much fun as you can possibly have at any one time, all the while being such a destructive player, such an influential player out there on the wing? He's really enjoying himself, Brian To'o. And if you actually watch that, not just hear it, he is so deadpan when he delivers that. He's having a very, very good time. And why wouldn't he enjoy it? But just the 257 run metres from 21 carries for Brian yesterday. A couple of tries as well. Got a try assist, crucial intercept. It's just everyone playing their role. And think about those names, because I was thinking, who's been there the whole time? And we're going to take out James Fisher-Harris and Jerome Luai, because they have been there for the 5 grand finals and 4 of the wins. But we're taking them out because they won't be there this year. Isaiah Yeo, Nathan Cleary, Dylan Edwards, Liam Martin, Brian To'o, Moses Leota. Like, you can build a team around that. Like, that's been proven. That is Best lock forward in the game, arguably one of the greatest of all time. Best halfback in the game, arguably one of the greatest of all time. Edwards, supreme Clive Churchill medalist and plays for Australia, plays for New South Wales in that fullback position. Liam Martin, a first choice for most because of just the mentality that he brings to the team. To'o, a first choice for most just because of the metres that he brings to the team. And Moses Leota, the unsung hero of the lot. Like, you look back at it and you go, that's right. That's no wonder they are so damn good. So damn good. All right, so we've got our setup. This Friday, we got Storm up against the Sharks. I give them a massive hope. The market is wrong. The market is thinking about the Storm of yesteryear, not this Storm. All right, they might get Pappy back. They might get Jerome Hughes back. But this Shark side, believe your eyes. We saw it in round 27. We saw it week 1. We saw it week 2. They are playing some very, very good football. And the game on Sunday, Broncos up against the Panthers. All the best, Madge. What's that? No Carrigan? All right, you got Reynolds back, but Hunt's been going really well. You know what? Brisbane fans, 2 words for you. Reece Walsh. Reece Walsh. And just maybe he can carry you through to another grand final. He was spectacular, Hudson Young, last night. And he tried to pick up the slack of no Ethan Strange. He had 14 carries by the end of the first half. Well, Hudson Young, and was leading the run meters. He's a deeply experienced back rower. He should know. Just get through.
Yeah.
Just get through.
He'd love to have that one back.
Totally.
Love to have that one back. But, back to Strange. It's a tough one. You talked about the 3 different, emotions or the reasons behind or what could have affected them most. I think emotionally, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I think it was emotionally. I think it was we had it at the end of full time. Oh no, Reece Walsh has been hit by the kicker. Okay, sweet. We go into extra time. We've won it. Jamal Fogarty scored.
Yes.
Oh no, we've gone back and looked, and there's a pinky in it.
Yep.
And the ball's going the other way, and then Ben Hunt kicks that goal. They thought they had the game won twice to get a week off. Yes. And I think emotionally were drained. In saying that, it didn't affect them to begin with. They're right up for the contest, but what I keep going back to now, and AP brought up a great point. We had Adrian Prezenko yesterday on Crunch Time.
Adrian Prezenko brought up a good point.
Mate, he was
Did he? Wow. Okay.
He was good, AP. He and he was correct in this, and I didn't give him enough credit for it. The victory that they got here against the Bulldogs, in my opinion, was not talked about enough.
Who?
The Sharkies, when they beat the Bulldogs here in the last round.
Oh, they kicked the door down in round 27.
So I gave them credit for the fashion in which they won, which was Bulldogs had all the ball early. They weathered the storm.
Yep.
They went bang, bang. And then in the end, they did it pretty comfortably.
Yes, 24-6.
But considering the circumstances of both of those two teams playing in a game where the result didn't matter, they were still going to finish in the same position, and it wasn't going to help their position on the ladder. The only storyline that, on reflection, when AP said that I was thinking about yesterday was you were only really going to talk about the loser. And what I mean by that is the storyline for me out of that game was how bad the Bulldogs were sliding.
Yep.
And I probably didn't give enough credit for how tough of a game that would have been for Cronulla and how well that set them up for the Sydney Roosters the following week. And then obviously going down to Canberra with all that momentum, because I know it's a meaningless game in terms of points and ladder position, but it's all about, like, this competition everyone's been saying it all year, it's wide open, and it's all about momentum, and that's what Cronulla maintained.
Blake Brayley, 5 from 5 as captain. So we'll get to that. I'll tell you what, we've got a massive 3 hours coming up. 0457 736 736. Make sure you get your text messages in on the Temper text line. A shout out to all the regular listeners via SEN 1170 in Sydney, SENQ 693 AM up in Queensland, 1620 on the Goldie. And of course, if you're listening via the SEN app anywhere at any time, a shout out to our Crunch Time partners. They've been with us the whole year. It's been fantastic. Azito, the brushless power tools, built to work. Azito, do you? I tell you what, Tracy came back from Bunnings the other day with the Azito air pressure,
Yeah.
and had to do a bit of work on the kid's motorbike. Worked a treat. Got it done yesterday.
You know, I'm looking forward to getting some more Rosito tools and all that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you're aware of this. Oh, this happened on Friday, actually, so we haven't seen each other since. I finally moved out of my unit. I've got a backyard.
Have you? Well
done. I've got a house, a
what
backyard.
Suburb? What suburb?
I'm staying in Chifley.
Yeah.
But now I am keen to get into my Zito tools and all that sort of stuff. And
You got a lawn?
Got a lawn.
Okay.
Got a lawn for the first time in maybe 20 years, because I've just been apartments and units my whole footy career into where I am now.
That was a startling game last night, but perhaps the most startling revelation came from Tim Manor, who at that time realised that he had no idea who mowed his lawn. All he said was some Irish guy comes and his partner, she just manages the whole situation.
Yeah.
Right? Because we said, oh, well, when do you do your lawn? He's very sheepish, Big Tim.
Yeah.
Had no idea. I said, right, well, what's his name? We'll give him a plug. No,
Nothing.
Didn't know. He just said, I know he's Irish. Said, all right, that'll do me. And Wing House, of course, turn up the volume, turn up the flavour. Wings, beers and sporting glory only at Wing House. 0457 736 736. Get us on Instagram at SEN League. We've got YouTube channel as well, SEN League, so make sure you check that out. So we'll have a look at that game last night. By the way, you got a man in form, Brett Kamali. You want to have a listen to the people who we got after the game? You want to hear them?
Who'd you get?
Okay. Kaeliro, our Temper Text Line player of the match.
Gun.
Josh Papali'i, devastated senior player of the Canberra Raiders.
Okay.
Addin Fanua-Blake added the starch to the middle of the field that maybe has been lacking from the Cronulla Sharks. And do you want me to finish off with
Keep
the Crown
going.
and Glory?
Give me the...
You got one more.
He went 4.
He got 4 for.
Oh, geez, he's got me covered then. I'm only good for 3.
He's got 4 for. Ready? Nicholas Hines.
Oh, he got Nico.
Yes, Nod.
He got Nico.
Well done. Well played.
Because Nico, I feel like he's in a bit of a mood at the moment too. He wouldn't go to everyone, Nico.
Just on that, you don't get respect, you earn it. You know, the Sharks have been talking all week, and they said it again. Kaeliro said it again after the match, and he said, we got to, people have got to respect us now and all that. And I'm like, and I said it during the week about what Nico has said.
Yeah.
And have zero problem with Nico. Absolutely love him. Think he's spectacular for the league. Right. And that is, you don't get respect, you earn respect. You beat Canberra, 32 points to 12 down in Canberra.
Got everyone's respect.
You earn respect.
You got everyone's
earned
respect. I love Nico, and I've had a little bit to do with him too over the years. I'm with you, Jimmy. I disagreed with the statement. The part that I want to find out is from the Cronulla camp, and I've been thinking about this over the last couple of days. Who gives Cronulla all their content? Like, who's the one that passes it on? Because they don't listen to any of it. They keep letting us know that they don't listen. They block out all the noise. They don't listen to any of it.
Right. So who's letting them know?
So who lets them know? Like, is there someone that listens to them and goes, this is the part you need to listen to for motivation for this game? Does Fitzy have a staff member that goes, you're allocated to listening to media? Because none of us listen to it.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't listen to the outside noise.
No.
We block it all out.
It's just white noise.
But when they get a victory, we haven't been listening to it. We've been blocking it all out. So, mate, again, I say that tongue in cheek. I'm pumped for them. Like I said, the momentum they've been in different ways. They've been talking the talk.
Yes.
Nico had it this week, even though I disagreed with I sort of love the mindset of Nico. Getting a bit agitated in that way, maybe trying to galvanise his team.
Yes.
I disagreed with what he said about the situation around getting the job done, because that's what he needs to do. In order like that, the criticism's always going to be there until they take the next step. And now they've got to a step where they've been before, which is a preliminary final. So he's got that in front of him.
They were in the prelim last year here at this ground.
He can tick that box now because he got to the prelim last year, and then they went up against the 4-time premiers. And
they never looked like it against the Panthers last year.
So he's got an opportunity to tick that box. But yeah, I'm excited for them. They've got momentum, and they're talking the talk, they're walking the walk, and they do just the way their mindset, and even Ronaldo the week before, that was the other one that I was going to mention, putting himself under pressure, going on a podcast, talking about the matchup with Nawang and Iwase.
Yes.
And then backing it up. Now they've done it 2 weeks in a row. Who's their candidate to come out and talk a little bit this week in the media? So it was Ronaldo before the Roosters game. Nico had a bit of a bite. I reckon going into Melbourne.
Yeah. Who bites Melbourne?
Toby Rudolph.
I like that. I like
Toby
that.
Rudolph's
Blake
got-
Brayley doesn't strike
Brayley
me
wouldn't
as
do it.
too nice.
Adam
Trindle doesn't do it.
Trindle wouldn't do it.
Will Kennedy's not going to do
Will
it.
Kennedy won't do it.
I'll tell you who might do it. Dino Mezzatesta, the
Hey,
CEO. He
there we
is on
go.
the program. So we might get a bite out of Dino, the Sharks CEO. Speaking of the Sharks, their NRLW side is now into the prelim as well. Georgia Hannaway is an out-and-out star, played for Queensland earlier this year. She's been moved into the hooker position. We'll speak to her today. And Paul Dunn, a premiership winner with the Bulldogs, Clive Churchill medalist in 1988. And, of course, won with the Panthers in 1991 in their maiden premiership victory. So the great Paul Dunn will be our special guest this afternoon as well. You know Dunny.
Yeah, I play golf with Dunny. He's the treasurer at the golf course that I'm having a blank on, the Coast Golf Course.
Coast, yep.
And Dunny's similar to a couple of players. He's like we said, he's won the Clive Churchill medalist. He's played in some really good teams, and because of that, he often turns up on a Saturday morning saying, "My team got up on last night." Because you've got multiple teams. He can't lose today.
No.
Dunny can't lose.
He's a tails you win, heads you win. That's the situation for Paul Dunn. I had the great pleasure of playing with Dunny at the Roosters in '96. Great teammate. Very good teammate, the great Paul Dunn. So we're looking forward to that. Have your say, 0457 736 736. Is the market right? And let's just look at it from a head-to-head. Whoever it is that you bet with, gamble responsibly.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
I haven't, because I haven't even had
haven't you?
proper look since.
Market has changed.
It's changed because of the Crichton news?
No, sorry. For next week. So the Storm and the Sharks on the back of that.
Storm and Sharks.
Yeah.
I would go $1.60 Storm, $2.30 Sharks.
Very good. You're a little bit generous, but I like your thinking. So what's the line?
The line is 3.5.
Ooh. So you can get 7.5.
7.5?
It was 8.5. Quick.
Oh, wow.
Gamble responsibly, but hurry up.
Yeah.
Because
Sharks,
so the market's
7.5.
changing. It was 8.5. Then it went to 7.5. They were $1.38. They're out to $1.46. Sharks were $3.10. They're into $2.70. That market was wrong. I give the Sharks a massive hope, mostly because, one, they're playing really well, and Melbourne ain't Melbourne anymore.
100%. And that's why I've said all year, and the competition's wide open. So, that's a lot of points for a really gritty Cronulla team. So, yeah, I don't mind that one, Jimmy.
Anyway, we can have your say on that. We've got an early call here, so it's on the back of last night. It was a disturbing incident. Tommy Hazelton was hit high. It was a head clash.
Yep.
Let's go to James. He's on the line at Albury. G'day, James.
It's Jade, actually. How are you guys?
Oh, g'day, Jade. Yeah, really well, buddy. What do you got for us?
Mate, I'm a Broncos fan. I'm just thinking, I've just with what happened with Paddy Carrigan last week, because Sterling came off the line in obviously a head clash, and it was pretty disturbing to see. But was there any consequences for him being being suspended, or is it just because it was just a head clash, not a shoulder to the head? How does it usually work?
Great question. I lost myself a cup of coffee last night to Tim Manor because I'm looking at the charge sheet today. Toby Rudolph, careless high tackle, grade 1, fine. Billy Burns, dangerous contact, grade 1, fine. Zach Hosking, careless high tackle, grade 1, it's a fine. Tom Starling does not appear on the charge sheet. In fairness, Paddy Carrigan's shoulder actually hit Morgan Smithies as much as the head clash.
Okay.
But,
yep.
Yeah.
And also too, I was just thinking, I know you guys probably have guys from different betting companies. I just want to know if you could ever find out what it would be paying for the AFL and the NRL minor premiers get knocked out in straight sets in the finals. What they would have been paying?
It's a great question. I did hear it's the first time it's happened in the National Rugby League since 2009.
Dragons.
The Dragons. It's the first time it's happened. I was listening to the Betfair boys on the way here, Miles and Tommy. It's the first time it's happened in the New South Wales Rugby League / NRL, VFL, AFL equivalent since 1949.
Wow.
That they've both gone out in straight sets.
I've got the and I was thinking about this as well last night.
Good on you, Jade.
Jimmy,
thanks for the call, buddy.
With Jade's commentary around Tom Starling, Jack Whiten got 4 weeks for a head clash with Toby Rudolph.
What did Dale Finucane? He got 2 weeks for a head clash with Stephen Crichton a couple of years ago.
So is it because Tom Starling is dramatically smaller than Tom Hazelton, and Tom Hazelton's a big 6'5" front rower.
And what should that have to do with it? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
But I've said this before, and I'll stand by this. Some players get judged differently, and I really think, like the physicality of the player and the impact factors in for them for sure.
Rightly or wrongly.
So many times you see, I think a couple of years ago, the one that, really stood out was hitting the player within a millisecond after they passed the ball, and the one that stood out was Felice Kafusi, and then you see it a couple of weeks later, and it was Joseph Suaalii for the Sydney Roosters doing it. It's a chance Nickel Klogstad, and it's just there's the Jack. This is the Jack Whiten one on Toby Rudolph, and
I remember it was here.
Not great radio. No, I think it was up at Central Coast.
Central Coast. Oh, okay.
It was up at Central Coast, right. And you don't want to see it, and it's an ugly hit. But why does Jack Whiten get 4?
I can't believe Tom Starling hasn't been charged. I cannot believe that he. So Tom Hazelton, he will be out. He'll miss the game next week.
Jack Whiten got put on report.
Yeah.
He got sent for 10.
Yep.
And then obviously there was a penalty, and I was so confused as to why. And I've got nothing against Canberra and Tom Starling, and he's a tough bugger, and I love the way he goes out and he tried to send a message. He got his target wrong.
Yes.
And with his head, and it led to an unfortunate incident. If my point around it is, if they'd been judged, if Jack Whiten had been given the same sort of consequences and repercussions, and even I think there was one with Taylor May. Remember Taylor May and Reece Walsh when he shot out of the line at Reece Walsh at the start of last year?
Right. I remember the Dale Finucane and Stephen Crichton. That was the first one, because he just got the tackle wrong, and everyone went, "Oh, we love the intent coming out of the line trying to belt someone," and they went,
"Duty of care."
It was unacceptable. Danger, unacceptable danger. I'll find the exact wording that the NRL came up with. I was reading it during the course of the week on the back of that very thing. 1300 01 1170. We will do a deep dive into the Raiders and the Sharks. Dino Mezzatesta, the CEO of the Sharks, coming up very shortly. This is Sunday NRL Crunch Time. We're doing it all thanks to Winghouse. We do it for Azito. Keep the text coming, 0457 736 736.
30 seconds.
Azito brushless home and garden power tools are built to work. Do it with Azito. Do you?
Turn up the volume. Turn up the flavour. Wings, beers and sporting glory. Only at Winghouse. You're listening to NRL Crunch Time.
Yeah, welcome back. We're coming to you live from Accor Stadium. We cannot wait for the game. We've got all the coverage of it from 4 o'clock this afternoon. Joel Kane, Justin Horo and Brett Kamali going back-to-back. Our man Nod. We'll get into that Sharks v Raiders game very shortly from last night. Dino Mezzatesta, our special guest, coming up in the next half hour as well. Afternoon, lads. Tim from Newey here. Reece Walsh got the same treatment as Smithies for his headbutt, so surely Starling should get treated the same as Whiten. It would make sense, Tim. It would make sense, but that's it's a great pickup from Justin Horo, who, by the way, I was travelling down to Canberra yesterday. You and voice unrecognisable. I thought, oh, who is that? Who is that? This guy knows his stuff inside and out. Who is it? Had to ring in the ad break. Blake Austin.
Stone cold Blake Austin. He's a gun.
Wasn't he outstanding?
Mate, I've met him a couple of times through footy over the years.
Yep.
First time I've done a content or a show with him. He's awesome. He was really good and worked out perfectly because ex-Raider, ex-Panther.
Yep.
Still got really good relationships with both teams. So really good in-depth sort of preview for both games it was.
I had it on in the studio whilst I was doing the show on Thursday. Didn't realise he was the coach of the Central Coast girls, schoolgirls cup side, which lost, but I didn't realise that he made mention of that yesterday. So
yeah, really passionate
well
about that space. But
yeah.
You're just getting the feel for it. A bit of coaching, bit of mentoring, and some management as well. So doing a little bit of everything.
The best value player in the National Rugby League was running around last night down there in front of 24,322 fans at GIO Stadium. The Sharks ended up winning 32 points to 12. It was tighter than that, 5 tries to 2. 12-6 at halftime. Got back to 12 all, and we finally saw that left-hand side from the Raiders get unlocked a little bit, which we didn't see at all in the first half, and that comes back to the Ethan Strange absence. But Nico Hines, outstanding. Blake Brayley, outstanding. Kaelito was our Temper Text Line player of the match. 199 metres, a try, 60 post-contact metres, and a great line break that nearly resulted in a second try as well. They were so even from the stats. They had the same amount of ball. They had the same amount of completion rate. The run meters was different, but it was a different story on the scoreboard. What was your assessment of that match last night, Scopey?
Yeah, it was the absolute worst recipe for the Canberra Raiders. You had a really dominant, in-form left edge in the Cronulla Sharks going against a really out-of-form, out-of-sync right edge defensively of the Cronulla Sharks. And what I loved is, I know they got a try in the first half and they had some joy. They actually, it felt like KO Weeks was sending the extra number to the right side for the early exchanges. So they held their nerve. I know they had some long range breaks early, but they didn't force it.
Yeah.
Once it started to open up in the second half and fatigue set in, that's where they had the joy sort of attacking in and around that edge. But yeah, it was more Teague Wilton, he's on fire. Kaelito he's turned into he's a premier centre.
Yep.
In the competition in the NRL. And they've got a really good sort of kick cage plan with just putting it up in and around Ronaldo and making a mess of it.
God, it was that was so deliberate and so effective.
They've been doing it for a while.
Yeah,
they do it. Ronaldo gets up there sometimes, even if he is not necessarily, even if it's too far or there's too much depth or it's not quite in his range. Everyone panics. Everyone, like the centre panics.
Yep.
He got checked on one occasion from
yes, he did.
Matty Timoko, which led to
got
a penalty. So, yeah, the Melbourne Storm, right edge, Will Warbrick, the likes, Nick Meaney, potentially Jerome Hughes, Jonah Pezzett will be doing a lot of video on last tackle plays in and around Ronaldo Militalo this week for sure.
They've got to watch the Teague Wilton kicking game too, which came into play late in the match. I want to ask you this. Did Ricky Stewart miss a trick? Simi Sasangi has been really good for them throughout the course of the year, but Ethan Sanders was the 18th man. He's a natural left-sided player with a really good kicking game. Why was Ethan Sanders not in that 5/8 position? And Simi Sarsagi maintain his position on the bench.
Yeah, you got to back Ricky on that. Like he sees him week in, week out. That would have been my decision. I would have gone with Ethan Sanders, but I don't see training every day, Jimmy. So
here's the other. I agree.
Yep.
Right? They have much more visibility on us than that. But they've signed him for next year and the year beyond, and let Jamal Fogarty go. Basically saying, no, you're going to be our halves, Ethan Strange and Ethan Sanders. And when push came to shove in this semi-final, he didn't put him in.
I'm slightly concerned with a couple of things. So that is a concern around the 2026 season for Ethan Sanders.
Yep.
And the other concern is the rumours in and around Jonah Pezzett being talked about with a number of teams. One of those teams, and they're only rumours, but if the Raiders are genuinely in on Jonah Pezzett next year, that's not a great sign for Sanders as well.
No.
Because if you were Sanders and, they've put some work into him this year and he's played a couple of games and he's not quite developing, you'd be happy if a vet come in, right? Like, not be happy, but you could understand a veteran coming in.
What if Jonah Pezzett was 1 year, just a loan deal, or 2 years?
Yeah, but my point is not necessarily the loan part of it. Like, even if you do sign a veteran, understanding that, all right, we can, learn a little bit from a veteran, but it's another young player. I think Jonah Pezzett's going to have a huge future, but he's still, to this point, relatively unproven. Those are the couple of things that sort of concern me a little bit with the chat around Sanders. But, like I keep going back to, I would have played him. And was he, because it was a late scratching, I know he was 18th man. Had they shortened their list with Sanders a part of their 18 and 19?
It's a great question, and I want to get clarity on that.
I don't think they were, mate.
But you can't have him as 18th man if he wasn't in the extended squad anyway.
I think it's weird. I think they were allowed that.
Okay.
I think they were allowed to promote Matty Nicholson, who was a part of their 18 and 19.
You can make application to the NRL and say, hey, unique circumstances, we've lost a positional player and we have someone outside the squad. That you can make an application.
Okay.
The reason they do it is around betting and transparency. That's why they do it.
And you understand that. But if they were given the chance, and I don't know exactly what it is, so maybe someone in the text line, Raiders fans, 0457 736 736 can let us know, because... Yeah, I found it strange that he was the 18th man for Ethan.
Yes.
Pardon the pun. But, like going back, and again, like on Ethan Strange's illness, geez, you really feel for him. Like, there are the older types and there are people in personalities that are going to come after Ethan Strange now with withdrawing from an illness.
I heard from his dad. I read an article that his mum went down to be with him after captain's run or during the course of captain's run, and he was vomiting up blood.
Vomiting blood.
Yeah. So you just can't play.
Just devastated for him. So,
well done.
Okay, what do we got? Sammy's got an update?
Well done, Sammy. The NRL have approved the exemption for playmaker Ethan Sanders to be inserted into their 19-man squad. However, only as the 18th or 19th player.
That's
so there
weird.
you go.
Like, why?
So he wasn't. So that's okay. Well, that's fine because maybe Ricky would have put him in there, but he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah,
that's a different story altogether.
But that doesn't make sense. The NRL, because of the circumstances, should have given them the option.
Totally agree. 3 Dally M points for you. Early start, very strong. Thanks for watching. For more great content, subscribe to SEN League, your home of the greatest game of all.